manifestation that says vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, put your dukes down. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, stop taking matters in your own hand. Turn it over to Jesus. Is there anybody here? No, he will work it out. High five somebody and say, neighbor, turn it over to Jesus. He will work it out. Is there anybody here want to help me close? Daniel began to become an intercessor. He stood in the gap between God and the wicked men. He stood in the gap between God the blesser and the men the beater. He stood in the gap between God the lover and the men that were low down. He stood in the gap, and I'm here to tell you, if you're a child of God, sometimes you gotta stand in the gap. Sometimes you gotta say, Father, I stand before you now, pleading, covering on the fellows. Well, I might as well close here. The text says he prayed and then he gave thanks before his God as he did so many other times. He gave thanks, he prayed and he gave thanks. He prayed and he gave thanks. I believe in the midst of the giving thanks, he said daily, I shall worship thee, Lamb of God, who died for me, who extended all of his mercies daily. I shall worship thee. Is there anybody here? Look at your neighbor and say, daily we ought to worship him. Who's him? Jesus. He is him. Jesus. He is here. Jesus. He is here. Lift up your hands and feel his holy presence. Jesus Christ. He is here. He's here to bring you out. He's here to remove all your doubt. He's here to save your soul. He's here to make you whole. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, he's here. Well, I gotta close, but I need to remind you of a little something I see in the passage. I see somewhere around verse 18, King is there in his palace. He can't sleep. He's restless. He told them, don't play no music. I'm not gonna eat tonight. I'm fasting. But can I tell you, that's funny to me, because the king is in the palace and he cannot sleep. But Daniel, who's in the lion's den, is sleeping like a baby. Can I tell somebody in here, regardless of the hell you may be going through, the God I serve will give you peace. The God I serve will give you rest. The God I serve will make the enemies bow down and leave you alone. Is there anybody here want to shift with me today? Is there anybody here want to go in today? Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm not worried about my problems. I'm not worried about my plight. I'm not worried about my place, because I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize. rise. Is there anybody here? Know the Lord will keep you. Is there anybody here? Know the Lord will hold you. Is there anybody here? Know the Lord will rock you. Is there anybody here? Know the Lord will pick you up. Why don't you do one thing for me? Why don't you say, yeah, I know he's able. Is there anybody here know he's able? Well, the prayer and the praise that Daniel had, it was a prayer that delivered. See, prayer is the destroyer of premeditated disasters. Prayer is the stabilizer of your thoughts. Prayer is the comforter in unscheduled adversity. Prayer is the advantage over adversity. Prayer is the invisible companion in strength and in thought in troubled times. Prayer is the rest for weary soul. Prayer is the solution to stormy days and nights. Prayer is the launching pad for every type of trouble that's thrown against you. Is there anybody here feel like praying? Is there anybody here want to go another further than your praise? And he gave thanks. If you're gonna go up, then go on up. He prayed and he gave thanks. He turned around, looked at the lions, said, lions, I ain't worried about you. The God I serve is able. Is there anybody here know the God you serve is able? Is there anybody here want to trust in the Lord? Is there anybody? Come on, somebody. Look at your neighbor and your neighbor, he brought me here. He trusts me with the trouble. He trusts me with the pain. And I'm going to trust the Lord even when I can't trace the Lord. Daniel got up early the next morning. When I got to close, I feel like my health is up. But watch what happened. Early the next morning, after a restless night, here comes the king. The Bible says he came with a lamented voice. He came with a weak tremble in his voice. He says, Daniel, Daniel, are you still here, Daniel? Daniel says, verse 22, O king, live forever. But hey, king, I'm still standing. The God I serve still got me here. Look at your neighbor. Grab your neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, I'm still standing through the pain. I'm still standing through the storm. I'm still standing through the house. I'm still standing. Is there anybody here want to shout one time because you're still standing? Say yeah. 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 Are you still standing? If you're standing in the house, you ought to give him a praise. If you're standing in the house, you ought to open up your mouth. If you're still standing in the house, you ought to tell the Lord, thank you. If you're still standing in the house, you ought not let the devil steal you of your joy. Says, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.